Hi guys, it's Tawny. Yeah, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 makeup products that I struggle to work with, I struggle to make work, products that are kind of on the verge of like tossing, not liking, not using for these reasons. So we're going to jump right into it. The first product is a powder, and this is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. And if you guys are familiar with kind of like the makeup world-ish, this is the powder that James Charles was using when he got called Flashback Mary. So it's been known for a long time as being kind of problematic and hard to work with. And even he's admitted that himself. I'm not like claiming, calling any shade or anything, but he's admitted that it is definitely kind of hard to work with. It's not the easiest to use. I find that, it's great. It's $5 at Walmart. You get so much product. You don't need much. I mean, it does have that flashback, but you might be able to make it work. I'm not really sure how good the shade range is, because I know they now have shades, not just like translucent, but don't know how great that is. But I have found that this smells so bad that I can't use it. I have had this for a long time, like since I started using makeup, because for a long time we only had Walmart to buy makeup from. We didn't have an Ulta locally. Now we do, but for the longest time we didn't. And I wanted to make it work, but I could not because it smells so much like grandma, like old lady, pretty much is just how I can explain it. So bad that I just can't open it to use it. Like I won't even open it now because it smells that bad. So it just sits on my shelf, doesn't get any use. And I feel like it's kind of, you need to smell it before you get it, because you don't want to, even $5, you don't want to waste on a product that you're never going to use. Because I'm like this close to just scrapping it because I know I'm not going to go through it because it's just like, it's bad. So another product that I'm on the verge of, and I've been saying this for a long time, is the Clinique Cheek Pop Blush Pop in Melon Pop. I really wanted to make this work. I really like the packaging. I like the shade range that they had. Alexa, stop. My laundry is done.
Timer stopped on Tawney's Echo Show.
Thank you. So this is what this blush looks like, and I'll swatch it so you can see it. This is what it looks like. Okay, now this is a swatch. Now, I can't like demonstrate it for you because I'm not wearing makeup and I just got out of the shower, so I'm not going to like mess with that. But it does not look like this or like this. I'm not flaking you off. It does not look like this on the face. I find that it barely shows up. I thought I was getting one that was a little bit more like orangish tone, but considering this looks almost pink, I feel like I kind of got ripped off because that's not quite the vibe this is giving me. Like, it's definitely not like, I can't even, okay, how am I holding my hand? Okay. Like, it just doesn't look like it's even supposed to be the same shade on, like, it's not showing up the way it looks like it's supposed to. So that, for one, is, like, something that's kind of not great. So I just find that, like, that kind of sets me off. And then it doesn't really show up. It's just kind of, like, trying to be there, but it's not quite there. I would say don't waste your $29, however much it costs. I wouldn't waste your money on getting this, even though it looks cute. I know Milani and Flower Beauty both have flower-shaped blushes that probably have a lot more product in them that actually show up. So I would say go towards those because they're like half the price. And this just was not worth it. So product that I actually like, but it's the application's fault, the applicator's fault, is the Milani Instant Age Rewind Concealer. Now, the only thing I hate about this little sponge tip thing. When I first got this, I had seen a video where somebody used tweezers and ripped it off. So I got some scissors and cut it off. And then I hated it. I hated the way it applied. It never, like, did what I needed it to do. Even though the concealer was fine, it was just because the application was messed up, it, like, then forever screwed up the product. So then I got another one and got the sponge. And the sponge, again, like, it doesn't put on as much product as I want. And this is a full coverage concealer. But I still feel like even dabbing it on, I have to dab on a lot to get as much out as I want to. And I feel like the sponge sucks up so much of it that by the time it gets to my eye with the pressure I'm pushing, I'm like gouging my eyes out and getting nothing. I want to make work, but the sponge is just like, sometimes I don't use it because the sponge bothers me. Okay, so the next product, I really like this product and the way it looks after a while, but upon first application, it just does not, it looks a little rough. It's the Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation. I have the shade Linen. This is from Dollar General. If you ever shop there, this is the makeup brand they sell. Mine is on an end cap near the makeup section, but for you it might be on like the wall or something like that. But this foundation is a really nice full coverage foundation. Looks really nice. It has like a fresh wear to it where it's not quite like it's not matte, but it's not dewy. It's just kind of like the perfect middle, but without being too dewy or too matte. If that, like, I know I'm explaining it like 50 times for the same thing, but you get the point. But my problem, my nose is usually very oily later on. It's not so oily when I'm doing my makeup unless it's like immediately in the morning, because I usually get a lot of oils like right here. But it always brings out the texture and the dryness that I get here like insanely, to the point that my nose looks hideous. And I can't put anything else on top of it because it just adds to that dry cakiness. And my nose is not dry, so I don't understand why. So anytime I use this foundation, I end up having to use a pore filling primer or a smoothing primer to try and like combat that. And even then I feel like it's not doing enough. So I kind of just have to let a couple hours go by before it looks decent. And I don't have a couple hours in the morning to let my makeup like settle in before it looks nice. Like I wake up half an hour, 45 minutes before I have to be at work and or leave. And that's not enough time to do my makeup, especially with a product that like requires finessing and finagling, you know? Like I don't have the time to let it sit and settle in and look decent. The last product I want to talk about is no longer being sold. So I kind of feel a little bit bad talking about it, but I still kind of feel like I can talk about it. It's the Bad Habit Aura palette. This is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills, I forget what palette it is, but it's a dupe for one of her palettes, and it's the lesser popular one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I would say out of all of the palettes they have in this kind of a setup, this is like the one that nobody really talks about, that just kind of like they made it and that's great, but nobody really like does anything with. The thing that convinced me to buy this, especially the dupe of it because it's so cheap, was this yellow right here. It's so vibrant and really nice looking, but my problem is you have to build it up, and it's a very dry formula. So you have to watch for the fallback, the kick up, whatever you want to call it, kickback, and it like ends up getting right here in your crease, which you then have to wipe away and hope you don't like smudge it in and then get like purple undercolor like under your eyes. I think this is a good eyeshadow palette, and it was worth the money and worth like saving by not getting the ABH one, but at the same time I still feel like it kind of like it's not as great as I wanted it to be. I think it's a really nice palette. The color story is really interesting. It's not one we see before. Nobody really talks about it, and it's one that like isn't usually one I gravitate toward, but it is, so I kind of wish people would have talked about it more. But it's one that I still like regardless of how I have to work with it. But I'm a little hesitant to use it because it is like no longer being sold, because Bad Habit's no longer in business. So I'm a little bit like bummed that I don't use it as much as I want to, but I still try and use it every now and then just to kind of like, you know, oh, I miss this palette, like I should use it more kind of a thing. So yeah, those are 5 products that are kind of on the verge for me of working, not wanting to keep, wanting to throw away, that kind of a thing. Let me know if you agreed with any of these, if you have the same thoughts, or if you have any different products that you want to talk about that you think are like not really doing it for you, or you kind of have to put more effort into it than you want to. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you get notified when I upload my videos. I really hope you guys liked this video. Let me know if you did in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!